Pray, meditate, breathe. Just make sure you take time to regroup mentally so you can rest this thing for a moment. Hi everybody, welcome back to Ardelle Vision, where it is my hope to inspire you to capture the vision of your life. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and to click that gray bell to be notified the moment I upload another video every Wednesday and on Sundays on all things ADHD, mental well-being, and personal development. Now, I'm really excited about this video because we are going to be diving into the topic of ADHD and symptoms in women. In my other video on women and ADHD, I go into more of just the struggles of ADHD in modern society and the challenges that we face. This video, I'm going to be more focusing on the symptoms. Let's get into it. Women with ADHD are oftentimes overlooked. We are misdiagnosed with something else, kind of like me, or we aren't diagnosed till later in life when our life becomes unmanageable. Usually this is around the college years when we are kind of let off to do our own thing and we are no longer under the constraints, the confines, or the structure of family life and high school years. For me, this was true for me. I was a really good high school student. I struggled in moments. I wasn't great in math and I sometimes would stay up late doing my homework. But for the most part, I didn't realize that I even had issues until I was off to do my own thing. And it started really being obvious that I had struggles and I couldn't get them under wraps, but I didn't get my diagnosis until I was 31. And that diagnosis came in the form of inattentive type ADHD, which a lot of times women are diagnosed with inattentive type ADHD because our symptoms are more subtle than our male counterparts who usually, obviously not always, but oftentimes have hyperactive type ADHD. If you haven't seen my video on inattentive type ADHD, I'm just gonna give a quick rundown. It looks like lack of focus, forgetfulness. We are easily bored or distracted. We are lost in our thoughts, and oftentimes we are daydreamers. Outwardly, we look normal, but internally we are just in a hamster wheel, distracted. One thing I found while looking into the symptoms of ADHD in women was the constant feeling of overwhelm and exhaustion. And that is something I completely relate to because I feel like we are constantly trying to keep up with the demands of modern society, and we feel like we keep falling short of that. And so there's just this constant underlining level of overwhelm and exhaustion, which leads into a very important, poignant thought that I came across and that was very insightful, and man, is it true, is that women with ADHD are constantly taking care of other people and never taking care of themselves. So we are constantly taking that internal mother instinct and bringing it to a whole new level and overly caring for other people and never stopping to take a moment, to take a breather for ourselves. So it's like, no wonder we're exhausted. No wonder we're overwhelmed if we're constantly doing for others. With ADHD and being a woman, we often also find ourselves struggling to keep up with peers in our work life and our home life, on social media. And to try to keep up with our peers, oftentimes that leads us to basically working late into the night, working extra hours, using our free time to basically try to get organized and stay on top of things and look like we are a normal functioning human being because we are, again, comparing ourselves to our peers that on social media or in life have themselves presented in a way that makes us feel inadequate. And with these pressures that we put on ourselves, a lot of times it then leads into coexisting conditions like eating disorders, overeating, undereating, sleep issues, chronic fatigue, insomnia, oversleeping. We go to substances to help cope, like alcohol abuse. This ends up being just a negative snowball effect leading into low self-esteem. A lot of women with ADHD have a lower self-esteem than the neurotypical counterparts. Women with ADHD, compared to neurotypical women, have more depression, they have more anxiety, they have more stress, they have lower self-esteem, like I just said, and they are more anxious. More often than not, women with ADHD have a tendency to be more emotionally oriented as opposed to task oriented. We emotionally react to things to cope with life, isolating, crying, overreacting, freaking out, getting paranoid, not reacting, freezing, compared to a neurotypical woman that would be more task-oriented, that would actually try to take action to problem solve. Obviously, all of us experience these on different levels and different degrees, and there is hope, and you can work on yourselves to better your life. I relate to a lot of these. A lot of these have lessened over time. Some of these still present themselves in my life, and definitely sometimes you go through cycles, and not everything is going to be extreme. Here are some thoughts that you can take into consideration to help out your life. For one, as a woman, accepting my ADHD has been the most beneficial thing for me. Even after I got it initially, I thought I accepted it, but I think I wanted to be in denial. I think I felt that I would easily have it under control. It was like, great, I have ADHD. Next, moving on. But it wasn't that simple. So definitely accept your ADHD. My other tip is to learn about it. The more you learn, the more you know how to cope and the better tools you have to tackle life. The more I've learned about my ADHD and the more tools I've gained to help cope, understand, and manage it, the better off my life has been. My next tip is to simplify your life. I know I've talked about this in my videos in the past. I know I've mentioned the documentary on minimalism that is out there, but I have purged my closet, donated, and gotten rid of things that just don't serve my life and are just adding to the too many choices I already have in my life. This leads into my next thought, which is to take time with making decisions. Learn to use the word no. My other tip is to learn about boundaries. Boundaries is something I did not have for the longest time. And the more I learned about it, the more I got comfortable with being uncomfortable and setting those boundaries, because not everybody's going to be happy with you. And there's going to be a learning curve to all of this. Find support from family and friends. The more people that are on your team, the more understood you feel and the easier and more freeing life feels. And after that, my next tip is to find a community and support group online or in your city. If there's an ADHD meetup group, maybe you could go to that, or if there isn't one, maybe you can start one, or try to find a support group again online, on Facebook groups and things like that. Finding others who get it has been one of the most healing things for me. So I definitely recommend, again, finding a support group of people that have ADHD, which my next tip is to learn and to develop better self-care habits. And when I say habits, I mean habits. Take time to structure time for yourself in your life so you can take care of yourself better, so you would be a better human being to your family, to your community, and to the people around you. This leads into my next tip, which is to do things that you love and bring you joy. So oftentimes we are constantly doing for others and never for ourselves, that we never take time to do things that would genuinely bring us joy. If you like reading and you never find time to read, set time aside, use your boundaries, set habits for yourself, to love on yourself, to do the things you enjoy. If it's reading, take time to read. If it's going on a hike, take time to hike. Just make sure that you take time out for you. So that is my video on the symptoms of ADHD in women. I hope you found those tips helpful. If there's anything that you want to add to the conversation, definitely let me know in the comment section below. You all always know I love hearing from you. I try to get back to you as soon as possible. Sometimes I don't. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click that gray bell to be notified the moment I upload another video every Wednesday and Sunday on all things ADHD, mental well-being, and personal development. And I feel like you all should know by now, but you are in my prayers, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.